Hello everyone, my name is Teri Jones. I am an artist and a teacher, and today I am going to explore this new to me set of colors from Gamblin. What I've done is I noticed that these were on sale, and they come in a little, they actually come in a board, but I'm not going to be using the board today. I'm going to be doing a different method. I'm going to be doing it on paper. And so we have these colors from Gamblin: Cad Yellow Light, Cadmium Red Light, which are both opaque colors, Alizarin Crimson and Ultramarine, and Phthalo Green, which are both transparent color. We're all three transparent. Yellow Ochre, which is a semi-transparent, Ivory Black, semi-transparent, Titanium White, and this gel solvent for it all. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to do, using Gamblin Cold Wax Medium, I'm going to do just a little kind of 4-up sketch, or painting. So we will see. So what I want to do is see how these colors work. So the kit itself actually comes with this lovely panel, but I'm going to use the panel for another project I want to do. So I'm just emptying out the kit here, and I'm going to put it over, and I'm going to start looking at the different colors. Starting on Arches oil paper taped to 4 squares, I am using a Stabilo markers to make some background marks, and now I am using the cadmium red and some of the yellow ochre mixed together to tone my paper. The goal here is to tone the paper so that when I pull down, if I'm scraping through it, I have a solid warm tone underneath of the paper. So I've mixed it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just basically has to cover. So I just work. Now I'm taking some white and some of the ultramarine, and which I've already mixed with the cold wax, and I'm using a scraper to just begin my process. So my process is I'm going to build layer after layer after layer. Usually I start with one color and go on the 4 different or 4 different rectangles actually. And here I'm varying the value of the color, and I'm using a scraper. I'm putting on now some of the golden ochre, and so that's my second layer. Adding some white, mixing together, scraping, compressing, just playing. So when I first start doing this, I don't have anything really in mind. I'm not thinking of an image. I'm just starting to put some marks on the paper. And here I'm working with my cadmium red. So far I've used my ultramarine blue, my yellow ochre, and my cadmium red. And now I am mixing some of the colors together, letting them flow on the paper. So at this point I start to define things a little more and play and experiment. Most of my cold wax paintings are very intuitive. I start with a variety of marks on paper, and then I just start playing with them. And I think this one started reminding me of the kind of canyons in the Midwest, in the West. So I started playing a little bit with that idea, adding in some more yellow. That one is the primary yellow that I had put in there, and mixing that primary yellow with the white. And now I'm adding some lighter colors to the whether it's the sky area or whatever, and I'm compressing the colors together, experimenting. all of this to me is an expressive experiment. What happens if? What happens if I make this red, really red against that? What happens if? And I'm working on this, the other corner. A lot of times when I put a color on my scraper, I will end up with it in more than one place. So here I go, I'm putting some darker blue in. Oh, I think I actually added some black to that blue. That's very dark blue with a little bit of black, and I am still experimenting. It's sometimes hard for people to look and say, well, what is she doing? And mostly I am just flowing with whatever the painting, the strokes, or what feeling I am getting from them. And sometimes I like change my mind totally. It's a very interesting process, and I find it very freeing. When I do these 4-ups, not all of them end up being what I would consider perfect. A lot of them are just experimenting with what happens if. I do a whole lot of what happens if. And it looks like I have some Portland gray in here too, so I may be mixing a little bit of that with, oh no, not Portland gray, because I'm just using the colors that I got from my kit. So there is no Portland gray. It just looks like it. Interesting colors I'm coming up with there. So Neil, this top left corner, I'm starting to see something in, and I'm beginning to develop it a little more. And I am by nature a landscape artist, so I tend to do semi-abstract landscapes of some sort, and I don't do a lot of florals or figurative work. So here I've developed that little one up on the top left, and I'm using another tool, which is I'm using a palette knife to get some finer edges. I can also get some finer edges with this little tiny red squeegee tool. So, but things are starting to look like they're developing in my mind at this point. And I'm just working at keeping the colors harmonized, working on some intensity of the colors in places, working on layering to put depth in. I will scrape out, pull up, see what, experiment. You know, it's all about, the little ones teach me how to paint the larger ones. The little ones help me understand what's going to happen if I put the red over what I already have. What's going to happen if I put the red up here at the top? What's going to develop out of it? And I keep on going through with my colors. I decided I don't like the red up at the top, so that's okay. And here I go putting more. I like the little shadow look on that little white thing. Now I'm working on texture. One of my favorite tools, this is one of my favorite tools, it's drywall tape, and it just gives me a little bit more texture. And so at this point in the painting, I am working on texture or finer details. Here I'm just squishing in. That's a plate that I have from, I don't know what it is. It embosses paper, but I like to use them here to just give me a little more texture, a little more detail. This is a circle from the top of a can. More texture with the drywall tape, and I'm working with making some lines and texture with my palette knife. So texture, after I get things a little more organized, I tend to put more texture in. I think I didn't like how dark that got when I used the roller, so now I'm going to put the texture back in, and I cleaned it off, and that's the other magic of this, is I cleaned it off, and I'm putting more texture in, and I'm putting more texture in, and now I'm going to repeat my texture there, and I liked that much better, and I am going to, I think, use the tool and just put some texture up around the edges, and I'm getting close. I'm getting very close to being finished with these paintings. I am still, so I would say that the top two on the two on the left hand side are pretty much done. I need a little more drama here in this really dark red one, and so I'm working on figuring out how to do that, and I put an orb of some kind in that. And then I just have to do something fairly dramatic, I think, to the top one. I'm liking most of what I have here. I just don't like the one in the top right corner at the moment. So when in doubt, let's just go drama. And I think what I end up doing is putting a little more black in, and mixing it with a little more of the cold wax, and then putting a little more of a red in. There I go, mixing it a bit more with the cold wax, and just gone for it. And I think that is probably about it. So this is how I do it. Very exploratory. Put some white in it. Make it. I was thinking of a tower in the tropics, the sugar mills. So I'm pretty happy with that. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed it.